Intuition is that guiding presence that reveals deep inner wisdom and profound truths about our lives. Following our intuitive direction is a skill that results in enhancing our health, our relationships, our creativity, and our wealth. Everyone has the capacity to be intuitive, for our sense of inner knowing is always with us, even on those days when we fail to see it. Sometimes we just need a safe. Intuition is that guiding presence that reveals deep inner wisdom and profound truths about our lives. Following our intuitive direction is a skill that results in enhancing our health, our relationships, our creativity, and our wealth. Everyone has the capacity to be intuitive, for our sense of inner knowing is always with us, even on those days when we fail to see it. Sometimes we just need a safe place to nurture it. You will find that here.
Hello, everyone. This is Angels Light Your Way, and it is MaryAiñe Curtis as your hostess today, and I'm so happy to be here. I am beginning a new trend in my life, a new phase that is opening me up to more awareness, more excitement, more inner knowing of where to go and what to do, and yes, to spread my wings and fly. And so for the time being, this will be a show that will be part of the bookends that I've created with a number of shows over a number of months called Angels Light Your Way. And I will be going on sabbatical from this show for a while as I work on the second draft of my book. That will be, my intention is to have it complete by the end of the year and in production by next year, so that it will be available to read. And it's very exciting. It's a lot of, it's maintaining a sense of purpose, a drive, time management, nose to the grindstone kind of thought patterns that, it's discipline. Discipline, that's a word that is very helpful, and so I am self-disciplining. And for that reason, I am putting the show on sabbatical for some months while I work on this until my schedule shifts again so that I can pick up the Angels Light Your Way show. I really love offering this show to you. And so with that information, let's go ahead and begin with our angel invocation. As we are here at Angels Light Your Way, and I invite you to settle into your seat. You may be laying down, that's perfectly fine. And imagine I have this beautiful violet rose. Oh, it's just heavenly. The scent of it is so wonderful, so light and deep and sensual and so rosy. I love this. and I have it right here so I can smell her beauty. And so take a deep breath and let the scent of the roses surround you. And even if you happen to be allergic, these roses will soothe and nurture you. They will not create an allergic reaction. And take a deep breath, letting this high, high, high vibration of rose permeate your being. And take another deep breath with me as we step into the sanctuary in our mind's eye. Breathe in the wonderful atmosphere of our Earth Mother. Allow yourself to settle in with full support of the Earth Mother below, Father Sky above, as you feel nestled and safe between the two. In your mind's eye, envision your own sanctuary. It may be a meadow near a body of water, or a mountain with a beautiful stream running into a pond of warm water. See the beautiful foliage, the textures, the smells of the flower and of earth. Hear the birds and crickets and the flutter of wings. We recognize the directions of the east, of the north, of the west, of the south, above as well as below. Feel the presence of the angels. I call on the angels Michael, Archangel Michael, the Archangel Ariel, the Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel Sandalphon, and the Archangel Metatron. With intention, feel the presence of your angels. Any concern that you may have, any questions you may feel, know with assurance that the answers will come to you when you ask the angels for their assistance. And now bring your attention to the current time and space as we begin our talk for today. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on Angels Light Your Way as you connect to your angels, as you connect to the spirit beings that guide your way, and you receive intuitive guidance. My first question for you is, have you held back? Have you held back your talents long enough? And is there a part of you that's yearning to be seen and heard? The part of you that maybe shows up in the shower or in the car or in your own privacy of your own journal. You write beautiful poems, poetry, or sketch beautiful, beautiful pictures. You have talents that are lying dormant, perhaps, or at least they're pushed back because, there's not enough time in the day. And what are those talents that you have that are yearning to come forward, that are just itching? It's like a calling, and you're being compelled to stop everything and write or create, to use your wonderful mind to find time to create the things you love. Maybe you're doodling during work or class, and so you are struggling with how do you get the time and the motivation to really call on your inner truth, your inner wise woman, wise man, your guides, your angels. How do you get the time to do this? Well, I have some suggestions. And so let's say that you are a person who likes to work out, and so you wake up early every morning and either go to the gym or go for a walk. Those are perfect places to do some meditation within your movement and to allow your mind to be still enough to let whatever comes forward come forward for you. That's a wonderful time to do this. If you happen to be a person who feels that walking meditations are very beneficial for you, then it's a perfect time to ask yourself some deep questions as you go for your walk, to ruminate over the thoughts that pop up in your head. And for that reason, I always like to carry my cell phone with me for, two reasons. One, it has a recorder, and two, if I have a need to call out and get help for some reason, I have that. And I used to go big mountains, and I would hike by myself a lot. And so I would always call my daughter or my sister and say, hey, I'm going up this particular mountain. You'll see my car at the bottom of it. And for any reason you don't hear from me in an hour, you'll see my car and know where I went. And I would always call them when I got down from the mountain and let them know that I made it safely. Thank you for being there and being my guardian, and so to speak. And it worked out really well. I never had any mishaps come my way, which, I'm very fortunate that way. And so the other reason that it has been very helpful to me is sometimes I make little 2-3 minute videos that I post on YouTube or on Facebook, and they're just things that come to my mind that I'm thinking as I'm walking, and I'm getting inspired by God as I walk in this deep, wonderful old forest, that there's so much wisdom in the forest for us to reach into. We have this abundant knowledge that is held in the trees, in the tall trees, the short trees, all the variations. But the big, tall trees have deep, deep roots going down into the earth, connecting as a matrix all around the world. And also the canopy of the trees go up into the sky. And so they're in the atmosphere around us. And intentions are another part of the walk, that if you're getting inspired to create and you're getting an idea of a direction to go, a path that feels right to you, putting your intentions out in a forest or on a mountaintop, you can put, I'll tell you the whole thing right now. I'll tell you how to do an energy circle. And you can put your intentions into that circle as if they have already happened, because they already are right there. That's why you're getting this knock on the door, so to speak, that, hey, look over here. Look over here. We're here waiting for you. We're ready. And we want you to get this message and to put it out into the world. You're the one. You're the one. You've got the unique abilities to take this message into the world. You have the experience. You have the learning. You have the voice. You have the awareness. And you have the calling to take these messages to those that can hear them. And so let's create right now an energy circle. And so an energy circle is a hologram of your intention. And a hologram, we've seen it on Star Trek. They create a hologram of a person, or they create a tube of light that you go up and you're in another dimension. And so that's exactly what we're doing. We're creating a portal that, imagine, if you will, a column of light coming down from the heavens, connecting to the Earth Mother. And see yourself standing in this light, in this column of light. And as you stand in the light, begin physically placing your intention into the circle. And I always like to use my hand and my arm like I'm really putting this into this physical space. I'm building a hologram. And a hologram, when you take a hologram apart, that you've seen holographic pictures, I'm sure, and it shows each square has an exact duplicate of the one next to it, and there's hundreds of them exactly duplicated. So you can take a little piece of a hologram and it will have all the components of the big picture. And so that's what we're creating. We're creating intentions for your life. And so go ahead and do this with me as I walk you through it, that you're taking whatever it is that your dream is, and first off, tap into the emotion that you feel. The emotion that you feel that's exciting, that's invigorating, that you're feeling this animation that wants to come forward. And as you're feeling this, you start picturing in your mind what it looks like. And so you take those pictures out of your head and you put them in this column of light, in this circle that you've drawn onto the ground. that you know is building a hologram of energy of what you desire. And so you're creating this energy that is helping others, that is helping animals, is helping the planet, is helping the atmosphere, whatever it is for you. And you're putting that feeling of accomplishment, of a job well done, of giving your heart to it, your heart and your soul, that you're putting this energy that is so much love into this hologram, and you're placing love and you're placing kindness and all the attributes, honor and honesty and good food and nourishment and a picture of the people that you want on your team. And then you call in your guides and your angels and you ask them to intervene on your behalf to help you create this in a beautiful way that puts the approval of our Creator on it, as well as the approval of your own heart and soul. That this is something that is so rich and so life-giving to you, that it brings you joy, and the joy comes from the fact that you are putting energy into this, and it's flourishing. It is blooming and helping others. It's making a difference in the world, and the more energy you put into it, the further the ripples go from the pebbles. And so when you feel like you've got it all created with the details that you feel are necessary, and give the universe plenty of room to add more, to make it even better than you imagine, beyond your imagination, to help you create this in an even bigger way than you imagine, so that it has impact, that it makes a difference, that it gives and receives love, and it self-generates to all the people that are touched by it, that it keeps growing and building and spreading. And so in this imagery that you create of the purpose that you are here to fulfill, you wrap it up, you have everything in it that you want, and so you take a look at it and you see, is everything there? Am I missing anything? Is there one last thing or two things that I want to make sure in there, that we have as much love energy in there as possible? You know, connecting the Earth Mother and Father Sky, the Heavenly Father, bringing all this energy into one place. And then you take a look at it, and now you ask yourself, am I ready for this? Yes. And so when do I want to create this? It's like over the next year? You want it sooner? Over the next month? Do you want it sooner? Over the next week? Can you do this? Can you begin it? Can you put the pebble in the water and begin this week? Today? You're doing it. You are creating it. You are in the motion of it and the emotion of it. Your heart and soul are bolstering it up and building it and making it vibrate with the highest energy that you can imagine bringing into this. So how about we do it right now? And so I want to hear a yes. Yes. Yes, I'm going to jump in. I'm wholeheartedly just taking a leap of faith, and I'm jumping into the center of this creation. Yes. And now that I'm in it, I'm patting it into my body. I'm patting all over my body, tapping it in, letting every cell and every molecule in my body know this energy is creating instantaneously right now. I'm receiving it. It's here. It showed up for me. It's loving me. It is caressing me and letting me know that yes, 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 we've been waiting for you to accept this. To accept this assignment, if you will. And now you are, and you're feeling it, and you're seeing it. And now you take your hands and you cup them as if you're holding seeds. And then take a deep breath in and whoosh, whoosh, cast it out into the universe to go through the atmosphere around the world, to go through the trees. The trees will happily send the messages out. The birds, the bees, all the flying ones, the critters, the roots of the trees reach down into the waters of the earth and send it through the waters and the rocks, and they send the messages all around the world that this is in creation. And then you wait for it to show up in different ways. You start seeing signs that it's happening. People will start asking you questions or commenting on wow, how well you look, that you're doing something really right, that you're living your life, and people notice because you're happier and you're more joyful, and you've got this secret inside of you that that you're willing to share. And so you're creating this. And if you feel like you want to fly, it's like you want to spread your wings out on the top of the mountain, allow yourself, your spirit, to take off and soar. This is how you do it. This is part of your divine birthright, to give and to receive all that you came here to be. It's just wonderful. It's so, so wonderful to be able to spread your wings and fly. And so as we get the inspiration to test our wings, to try something new, to move forward on ideas that, oh my gosh, sometimes we want to hold them secret for a while because we're afraid people will say, you can't do that. Well, of course you can. If you have been given the spirit, the fire inside of you, then this is yours to do. Like so many creators, so many scientists, so many inventors, the people that have discovered vaccinations and discovered wonderful ways to create energy, like Tesla, that you are here standing in your spot, putting your stake in the ground and saying yes to life, yes to the world, yes, I can, yes, and I am. And there you have it. You declare it so. And so it is. And so it shall be. As above, so below. And you are a creator. You have been given the divine spark of creativity. And so when you have that, please let it come forward. Please let us see whatever it is. I'm going to take a sip of tea right now. That was very exciting. I love doing the holograms and teaching how to set up an energetic hologram of creativity. It's just so much fun. And see, as you heard my voice become more impactful and more intense, more excited, that's how you do it. You get all the emotions pulled up that you can, all the love, all the excitement, all the joy. Bring your little kids, from inside, the little 5-year-old and the 3-year-old and the 8-year-old that love to create and make magic and make believe, and bring your inner child forward to help you imagine the possibilities. You can do this. You were given the tools. You have them. And so stop hiding them. Stop acting like you don't have talent, because you do. And so the things that you love to do that are often hidden. Now I sing. Every once in a while I sing in front of people, but more I would sing in the car when I was listening to music. I would sing in the shower. I have beautiful songs that have come forward from my sisters, from our full moon circles, the Native American songs that cycle through my mind, and I sing them, and such beautiful songs, calling on our Mother Father to guide us. Beautiful songs that we know, and let them come forward. I've come to the place in my life that I don't hold back from singing around people, if that's what bubbles up in my heart to sing or sing along with songs. I don't get embarrassed like I used to. When I was younger, I was insecure, I was timid and kind of a wallflower at times, and or I could be loud and boisterous too. I came from a big family, so that was normal too. But see, when you're a wallflower, when you hold back, it's the same energy as someone that is egotistical and braggadocious. It's just reversed. It's like it attracts the same amount of attention. It's a different feeling that is projected towards you than the person who's a braggadocious and loud and, can be unruly, sometimes even obnoxious, commanding attention that people want to ignore them and they can't. But the energy of a wallflower is that in reverse. It's like an inside photographic image, where you have a photo and then you have the inverse, the negative. And so the colors are different, or the shadowing is different. So a wallflower, someone that holds back, is also drawing attention. But the attention is, oh, you poor thing, the poor dear. Sometimes people even want to bully you because they're trying to get you to come out. Or they're just plain mean. And if you are a wallflower, chances are you have been bullied unmercifully at times. Because people poke at you. They want to see you fight. And maybe you're not a fighter. You don't want to fight it. It's not your nature. Or maybe you've had somebody really harm you over time, that you don't feel like you have any power, that you're a victim. And victim energy is such a sad, sad place to be. My heart and my love goes out to you to proclaim that you have the right to be here, that you do not have to stay in a victim role. You do not have to go along with what people tell you you are, because it's not true. When people say good things about you, and we say, oh no, I can't believe that, that can't be true, that's when we should listen to the good things that are said. It's a funny thing about human nature, that when people, we all try really hard to be good at what we do. We all try to be the best that we can be. And so, okay, if we took the word try out of this phrase, and I am the best that I can be, I am, that's an intention, that's a promise. That's not, I'm going to try to be the best I can be. That's kind of like saying, well, if it doesn't work out, well, it wasn't really my fault. Well, wait a minute. You have charge of your life, and I really want to encourage you to take charge of your life, to take charge of the choices that you make. Because only you can give somebody power over you. Only you can decide that they have more power than you do by continuing to be a victim. And the other side of that, the victim is the martyr. The martyr, oh, it's so dramatic. Those things that people have done to me, it creates guilt in others. It creates resentment in others when there's a martyr. That, oh, it was so awful. And some people even praise the martyrs. Look at how they suffer. Oh, my gosh. Well, there was a wonderful, wonderful talk by Abraham talking about how the martyr, that victim energy, they always paddle upstream. And, boy, we cheer them on, and we give them rewards, and we give them awards, and we give them trophies because they did it the hard way. They were paddling upstream, and they overcame so many obstacles to get where they are. And the message from Abraham is that you just turn the boat around, and you go with the flow. You go downstream. you paddle with the current, and it becomes easy because the current allows you to go in the direction that you're supposed to. That, our Creator is not upstream. Our Creator is downstream. The gifts and the rewards that we want are downstream. Now, I personally have sailed over 5,000 miles of open ocean on a sailboat, a 32-foot sailboat that's about the size of a Greyhound bus. There were 2 of us on board, the skipper and me, the first mate, 2 dogs and a cat. And we went downwind for almost 3,000 miles. It was 15 miles short of 3,000 miles to go from La Paz, Baja, Mexico, to Hilo, Hawaii. And it took us 3 weeks to get there. In the second week, we had a hellacious hurricane-level storm hit. Thankfully, we were in a very wonderful seagoing vessel with tons of ballast to keep us above water. And she was a double-ender. The 12 Promises was her name. She was a double-ender, so we couldn't get smashed into and, flipped over. Oh, my God. Capsized. That we were like a Weeble boat. We just bounced like a cork because of the ballast. Thank goodness. So the ballast was our foundation on the water. So we have all been given a foundation. We've all been given the ability to tap into Mother Earth and to send our roots deep into the soil, as well as tapping into Father Sky, to the heavens above us, with another taproot going up into the heavens. And so we can use this energy to guide us, that we know we're always connected to Source. Source is always flowing through us, and an infinity symbol above and below, in front and to the sides. We always have the angels, the archangels standing with us in the 4 directions, above and below, 6 directions. They're always with us. All we have to do is call on them and ask them for help, to intervene on our behalf, to show us the way, to give us the insight, to have someone tell us, look, it's over here. Look this way, right here. This is the way you want to look. You want to go this way. You want to take life. You want to accept life. You want to receive the guidance. And then you have choices. You have choices by saying, I no longer wish to be a victim. I'm going to take what I've learned from the scars that I have, from the wounds, from the trauma, from the horrible things that have been done to me, and I'm going to find the seed of brilliance within it. I'm going to find the gem that is in that learning, that I persevered. I made it in spite of what they did to me. Because no one knows what your personal journey has been. No one knows how deeply you may have suffered. And when we act like a victim, we draw people that want to victimize. They're mean-spirited because, why? Because they have been harmed as well. And to cover up their sadness and their loss, they become mean. They become vindictive and vengeful. And they hurt people that are not as powerfully strong as them. They always pick on people that can't stand their own ground. You ever notice that? They pick on victims. And so stop being a victim if that's a role that you've been experiencing. And like the wallflower, if you want to sing, if you want to shine, step forward and do so. Let us see who you are. Let us see you. I was in a training once where, it was 8 days of leadership, and we went through all kinds of exercises and trials by fire and learning that in a leadership role, you have to have done your work, your inner work. You have to let things roll off you, not take things so seriously. And that people will adore you for a while, and if you do anything human, they're going to knock you off the pedestal that they put you on. And to not let it ruin your day, to not let it go to your head, to not let your ego get carried away. And one of the exercises we did is we were asked to tell one of the awfulest secrets that we had. And it was scary to do it. It was really frightening. It was like confession in front of all of our peers. And each person in this group, there were about 15 of us, stood up in front of everyone and told the worst thing, the worst secrets that they had. And they were all different levels. No one had killed anyone or done anything horrific, but they were things that they'd done to a sibling or a parent or a child, you know. And I remember this memory of spanking my children out of frustration that they weren't doing what they were told to do, picking up their room, and they were overwhelmed. There was just too much stuff. They didn't know what to do. And we were all living in very much chaos and and anger from the father and husband. And so we were all wounded. We were all very wounded. And he was definitely wounded, very severe injuries that was part of the anger that he couldn't do what he used to be able to do. And so he'd lash out at us and bully us. And I told about the day that I was so frustrated and he'd been yelling at me, and I went and yelled at them, and they weren't doing anything. They were playing, and I thought, you know, I'd seen an older woman. She used to spank her kids with a wooden spoon, and I thought, well, maybe I'll try that. Maybe that'll work. And I spanked them both with a wooden spoon and said, now you get your room cleaned up. And that's something I've never forgotten. And even to forgive myself for that, it was something maybe they've forgotten, but I didn't. See, the problem was not so much that I spanked them with the wooden spoon, but that I spanked them out of anger. I was angry at my husband when I spanked them. I was victimized. I was a martyr, and I was passing it on to them. That's the problem. That's the learning, and that's the gem as well that I'm asking you to reach into and ask for guidance. It's like this is guidance that has come to me with the help of my angels and working with my inner child and my divine child, and most importantly, my shadow child, the wounded child. And so the wounded child is the one that brought this information forward to me, that I was acting out of anger at someone else when I spanked my children. And it did not release the anger in my heart. It gave me tremendous guilt. It didn't solve the problem. It didn't make them more willing to clean up their room. It made them afraid of me too. That's the harm that I did. Because, see, there's trust, that I injured their trust with my action. And so as I look into that and I share this with you, I'm saying what happened in the hopes that you'll be able to recognize actions that you've taken that have harmed you, that you don't want anybody to know about. And see, in the telling of this, even then I didn't have the same clarity. That was at least 10 years ago that I went through this leadership training. that the clarity I have today as I'm talking to you about this is even greater than I had then. Because the part about losing some of my children's trust, this is the first time that piece has come forward. The damage that I did. The damage that I did. That they can't even trust their own mother to love them unconditionally without being punished. Yikes. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. But I'm willing to share this with you and to open my heart and my vulnerability because it may help you to understand. And so as I'm looking at the memory of telling my peers this, you know what happened? The same thing happened to me that happened to every woman that went before me, is they came around me and they loved me more. They loved me more in a group hug, in this wonderful, loving, forgiving, energy of the highest vibration that all of the women together were like, yes, you're human. You made mistakes. And you're seeing it so I can atone for the mistakes I made. I can make my amends for the mistakes I made. And I don't have to carry the mantle of a martyr. Oh, poor me, look what I did. You know, that's a martyr. Poor me. Poor me. I worked from sun up to sundown. I worked my fingers to the bone. Poor me. I eat the crust of the bread and the burnt piece of meat. Poor me. Nobody ever notices me. Well, you know what? That takes just as much attention as the egomaniac, as the bully, as the braggadocious one, as the one getting all the attention. Yak, 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 yak. And so if that's energy that feels familiar to you, I'm going to make a suggestion that you stop carrying that energy and you do the work to release it, whether it's with me or with someone else. You do the work to release that victim energy, release the martyr energy, release the victim bully energy, that you're a victim of someone bigger than you, so you're bullying people smaller than you. Release it. Stop it. It's awful, awful, when you could be giving love instead. I'm going to take a sip of tea. And so when you start stripping yourself of these facades of behavior, that's what it is. It's learned behavior. That I'm afraid I'll be ridiculed. I'm afraid they'll make fun of me. But isn't your inner language already making fun of you with those words? That you're stopping yourself with your own self-talk, saying, who do you think you are? You know, there's a voice that always says that. And I'm not, you know, it's like we all have thoughts in our head that they can come through like voices. It's not that we're multiple personalities unless we are. Some people are multiple personalities. Pardon me. And in a way, we all have different personalities that we show to our family, to our best friend, to our parents, to our kids, to our business partners, to our work partners, to teachers. We all have those different aspects of our personality. We're like a kaleidoscope. We're not just one personality. We're made up of a myriad of things. And so when we have that committee going that's saying, yeah, you know, you can't stop it. Or the monkey mind, you might call it. Voices, you might call it. It's what are they saying to you? Listen sometime and really listen and even write down what are the things that they're saying. Do they serve you? Are they uplifting to you? Are they helping you feel better, to be a better person? Are they dragging you down and keeping you small and keeping you in a victimization role? And whose voices are they? Are they a teacher's voice or an ex-husband's voice or your father's voice? Whose voice are these messages coming in? And do you need to keep listening? If you've got the message and you're making a choice for yourself to change your life, then it's time to turn off those voices. And in day-to-day life, when, there's a lot of energy going around the world right now. We're at the end of May. It's Memorial Day is coming up. So I want to put a shout out to all of the service people, servicemen, women, the families, the wives that supported their men, the husbands that support their wives being in the service to our country. That this weekend is for you, Memorial Day weekend. In fact, we're a little early. It's coming up at the end of the month. And it's in memory of the service that you've been in. But isn't it time that we start creating a new memory, that we have peace instead of war, that we have communication instead of fighting, yelling, that we have respect, that we let people say what they need to say, and we don't go on and on and on, taking up all the time of other people, that we listen. We listen as well. We let those that don't often speak. And we allow the communication to be open. I'd like to create a new memory that way. And I'd also like to embrace all of those that suffer, all of those who suffer from physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, childhood pain. And you use this somehow, you find within it the gem that gives you the momentum to bring your gifts forward. So many teachers, wounded healers, have gone through severe pain and life circumstances. And it was like that was the trial by fire that tested them, that made them finally see that you have gifts that need to be brought forward, and it's time for you to take a stand and stand on your 2 feet and announce to us, to the world, that you are no longer a victim, that you are no longer a martyr. You are no longer a bully. You're no longer a thief or a drug addict or an alcoholic or a gambler or a prostitute. You can change anytime you want. And the angels listen to all of you. The angels are right there waiting for you to call on them to help you. And so this is where you ask your angel team, you call on your angel team to assist you, to guide you, to bring forward the person that's going to be your manager if you're writing a book, your editor if you're writing a book. You call forth those people that you need, and your angel team will help you, bring them to you. And then it will happen. It will happen. Whatever it is that you've got your heart set on will happen. It's wonderful. And so I urge you to consider your possibilities, things that you dream about, that you one day when I have enough money, one day when I'm grown up and the children have gone off to school, one day, someday, maybe, I hope I will, gosh, it would be so nice if I could. Well, you make the choice to do it. You make the choice to do it. And when I sailed all of those miles to Hawaii, I didn't know I was ever going to do that in my life. It was kind of a surprise to me. I met a person that was his dream, and I was called forward to be part of his dream, to help him create something that was important to him. And so I showed up. I signed up and I showed up and I said, yes, I will. This sounds like a phenomenal thing to do. It's a little bit crazy. Yep, sure is. But see, what really happened inside of me is I had a second chance at life. Oh gosh, 28 years ago, when I got sobriety is when I got my second chance at life. And I believe that it was a gift from God, a blessing for me to stop being a victim and a martyr and a wallflower and to start sharing my gifts. And it took some time to kind of find my groove, to find where I was headed. It took a couple of years. And I tried the things that I already knew. And then I made a decision. You know, I went back to school and I learned a trade, you know, environmental sciences, and I became a park ranger, and I worked with them for several seasons, and then something started happening that wasn't it for me. That there was something deeper inside of me that was coming forward, and so I get these nudges from people. Oh, you're really good at doing massage, or you're good at listening, or wow, people come for inspiration or solutions, and they would come to me and ask me. And so these things happen in all of our lives. That what is it that people come to you for? What do people know that you naturally give? And you don't think of it as being a career. It's something you do. Maybe you love to feed people, so you cook a lot, and so people know. Like my sister, she cooks a lot. And I know if I want a good home-cooked meal, I can call her up and invite myself to dinner, or she'll invite me to dinner. She hasn't seen me for a while. And it's wonderful. She feeds people. She loves people, and she remembers, to send cards and encouragement. And she sends it because it fills her heart. And I believe that that's the thing that she would love too, to have people surprise her with encouragement and love. And so we do things for people that we would love people to do for us. So if you ever wonder what somebody wants for their birthday or for a gift, just think about, well, what do they do for me? And maybe that's exactly what they would like done to them. It's easy. And so I hope I'm giving you some good ideas how to follow your path, your purpose, how to discover what it is, and how to tap into the information, the inspiration that comes from your own heart and soul, your body. And when you tap into that and you ask your angels for guidance, they're right there for you. They'll send the people to you that, 3 people told me, wow, you're really good with your hands. You should be a massage therapist. I never even dreamed of being a massage therapist. But I'm also going to tell you the thing that made me go on that sailing journey to Hawaii is this question. This question alone is what would do this to me. And I'm going to put this question out to you. That when you look back on your life, when you're in your 70s, 80s, 90s, and you look back on your life, what are the things you're going to say, I wished I would have done this when I had the opportunity? I have some things. I have some things I wish I hadn't done. And so I can correct that with my actions now by not doing those kind of stupid things. But also, they were things that I neglected. Like a cousin of mine just passed away from cancer, and he'd been on my mind for months. And did I pick up the phone and call him and talk to him? No, I thought, I'll do it later, and then I'd forget. Well, I don't get to talk to him now because he's passed. I mean, I can talk to him in a new way, spirit to spirit, but I can't have that physical phone conversation with him now because I kept putting it off. So the question is, what is it that is a choice that you're having right now that when you look back on your life in 20, 30, 40 years, are you going to say, I wish I'd done it? So that's the question that I ask myself. You know, I have an opportunity to sail to Hawaii, something I never even dreamed I would do. Never dreamed of it. I wasn't a sailor. I got sick on fishing boats. It was wild. But I sailed to Hawaii and back. And I will never regret the trip. I will never regret the experience because I did it. I did it. And it was an amazing experience, an amazing test of faith and endurance. And I'll never regret it. And so that was the question I asked myself. If I don't say yes to this now, will I ever have the opportunity again? Who knows? But if I say no, will I regret saying no in 20 or 30 years? Of course, I would have missed out on an amazing adventure. Half Dome, same thing. Climbing to the top of Half Dome, it was a big deal for me. I'm not like a runner-athlete. I'm a hiker. But it was, oh my gosh, that was a big deal. Now, do I need to do it again? Probably not. If I was challenged with a bunch of friends wanted to do it, of course I would go, because I would go for the experience with all my friends. Life is to be experienced. And so having this show is another experience that I seized and said yes to. And having my radio show, a live radio show, it's esterobayradio.com, and on the 2nd and 4th Saturday at 1 p.m. It's a show called Deeper Than Memory, Deeper Than Money. And so I do this every month, twice a month. I do this show. And long dance is something I show up for. And my women's circle I show up for because I said I would. And so when I gave up being a victim, I gave up being a martyr, I have more energy to do the things that are important to me, to do the things that I give my word and say I'll do. I show up. To do the best that I can with each client that is with me, I give 100% because I have it to give. And so you can do this too. If you feel strongly about something, start doing it. Take the bull by the horns and start. Take your stake, you create a stake and you put it in the ground and you say yes to your life. And that is exactly the way I go about spreading my wings so that I can fly, so that I can let my spirit soar and be all that I'm capable of being in this life that I have right now. There's no second chances. It's happening now. Today will not be repeating itself. It's today. It's here. And so, for that reason as well, I am taking a sabbatical for several months from doing this show, Angels Light Your Way, to put more time and energy into completing my second draft and completion of my book. That is a story of hope. It's part of my life and how I overcame being an abused wife and went on to make corrections in my thinking and amends for my actions and embrace as much as I am able to the life that I'm here to be in. And I offer the hope to you to seize the day and take your life into your own hands and create that which you want to experience. You have the choice every day. And if you're choosing things right now that drag you down and make you feel bad, please find a way to stop it. Change jobs. Even if it means less pay, you will be happier for it. Move to a smaller area where usually it is less pay, or work from home so you can live anywhere. and put in place, start taking the steps to put in place a life that you create that is fulfilling, that allows you to uplift yourself and others, to spread the love, to spread the joy, to be in a peaceful place, to give the love of your heart and your soul to the world and let it give back to you and support you. It's possible. So many people do it. There are so many more that can. So be the change that you wish to see. Be the change you wish to see. And with that, I bid you blessings and peace and joy and encourage you to call on your angels, to get to know your angel team, to draw them, to cut out pictures that represent them to you, to use oracle cards if you wish, to bring messages to you, to journal, to allow Spirit to guide you, to allow your heart and your intuition to guide you. It's all there waiting for you. And be the best that you know how to be. Be love. Be peace. Be content. Be compassionate. Be resilient. Allow the wounds to become your empowerment. That you know you lived through things that were unbearable. Well, now you can live through things that grow fruit, grow corn. That you can create life to help others that are fulfilling to you. And you will. You're going to give yourself a chance to do it. So watch for me. Watch for Angels Light Your Way. Listen to Estero Bay Radio. And the second and fourth Saturday of the month, I'm on at 1 p.m. We have a live stream all the time of our radio shows with a lot of music and some talk shows on Saturday, which are really fun. And I just hold you in love with many, many sweet blessings. Know that you are precious and cherished exactly as you are. Namaste. Aho. Espavo. Thank you for standing in your power.